Hey guys, welcome to Sunshine Haze. I am Ajay, and as you see tarot cards on your screen, you know it is time for a new moon reading. Before I get started, this video is for Leo, so people with Leo sun, Leo moon, or Leo rising placements. If you feel like this video is not resonating with you, go on and check out your moon or rising sign. As I said, this is a new moon tarot forecast. We are moving into Leo solar season, Leo lunar season. Happy birthday to all my Leos. We are still kind of in Leo solar season for the next few days at least. All right, so yeah, we're going to be looking at what's going to be popping off for you guys from mid-August to mid-September. It's crazy even saying that. I can't even believe that the summer is almost over. We're like halfway through, but it feels like summer's almost over already. Yeah, Leo lunar cycle. If you want some more information on what that actually means and what that energy is, what energy is being lended to us in general dealing with this Leo lunar cycle, go on and check out my video on the new moon in Leo. We're also having a partial solar eclipse, and that's the stuff about that is also in that video. I've got that link down in the description box. I've also got retrograde videos up as well, and then there's a summer solstice tarot reading up as well. This video is for Leo lunar season, but the summer solstice reading can give you some insight into the full summer for you guys. Okay, yeah, so as you see cards, I know you guys see two decks. I did get a new deck. I'm excited. This is the Dreams of Gaia deck. I saw it in one of my little mystic stores that I go to all the time, and I was like, oh, I might need that. I'm starting to feel like a tarot deck whore. I went to another one of my old stores and I saw another deck that I want, and I was like, you know what, you have a problem. You might need to chill out for a second. I also want to give myself a little bit more time to get more acquainted with this deck. I do really like it, so you know, you guys bear with me. I'm still getting acquainted with these cards, but I think I'm doing pretty well with, you know, interpreting them. I'm an intuitive tarot reader anyway, so you know. But yes, I've got two decks, but that doesn't mean that anything's changing. We're still doing the same new moon forecast that I always do. Gonna be looking at the energy, gonna be looking at any crossing energies, gonna be looking at, because we're talking about Leo lunar season. On one side, we're gonna be looking at where's your style being cramped, and then on the other side, gonna be looking at what do you need to show off, what do you need to showcase, and as always, I do a little soul message for you guys. So we're just gonna go on and get started shuffling these cards for you. And as I always tell you guys, this is a tarot forecast for the next lunar month, which is again mid-August to mid-September. But for some people, just depending on what your placements look like, sometimes this energy is a little more prominent during the actual like shadow of the moon. And then for some people like myself, if you're ruled by the moon, my little Cancer sun, Cancer moon, Venus, Cancer ass, you tend to see these things play out kind of for you throughout the whole lunar season. So just keep that in mind. And again, if what I'm saying you feel like isn't for you, is probably not for you, go on and check out your moon or rising sign video, okay? It's going to be popping off for people with Leo placements, Leo sun, Leo moon, Leo rising during this Leo lunar cycle. And with this deck, be looking at the energies, crossing energies, and the soul message for you guys. Ooh, okay, I think we got some good shuffling going there. All right, go on and cut that deck. Okay, well, I guess those are the cards that want to come out for you. So we're going to look at the energy. Okay. Crossing energy. Oh, we got a lot of water cards, guys. And your soul message. Ooh, and a fire card. All right. Ooh, I just split the deck to shuffle, and there's the Tower card for you guys right on the bottom. I don't know what that means, but something could be shifting for you, Leos. Something could be shifting. All right. Let's see what's going to be popping off for Leo lunar cycle. Leo sun, Leo moon, Leo I keep saying mid-August to mid-September, and I have to catch myself like, damn, girl, are we in August? Like, we are actually in August, mid-August to mid-September. See with these cards. Ooh, what flipped? Something flipped. There's a Tower card again. There's the Five of Cups. So I don't know, Leo. Possibly something that has been causing you a lot of grief or depression or disappointment could be shifting. Like something could be changing in regards to that. Or possibly something crazy could be getting ready to go down and could be bringing you into that energy. I keep seeing the damn Tower card for y'all. And I've seen the Eight of Cups for you for a second. So maybe something going on is not for you. But let's finish shuffling and figure out, let's actually do the reading. Let's see what's really popping off for y'all Leos. All right, let's cut the deck. And cut the deck again. And, it's interesting. Leo, y'all got some interesting ass cards, but y'all are an interesting ass sign, so. So there's that, you know, there's that. Okay, Leo. Let's see what is going on. All right, Leo, so for you guys' first card in this spread, you've got the Counselor card. And so this deck is pretty much a traditional tarot deck, but some of the court cards are a little different. So the Counselor is the 12 of water, and we're dealing with the water element, which is all about our emotions, all about our, you know, love, connections, things that we're emotionally invested in, spirituality, enlightenment. And having the Counselor card come up in the position of the energy for you, when we're talking about the Counselor card, that is a card that points to being in a time where things are not necessarily clear. This literally the word, the Counselor. So this is talking about, Leo, being in a time to where you're kind of seeking out some advice, trying to figure certain things out, or things may not be exactly what they seem, or you may be feeling like things aren't exactly as they seem. The Counselor card is coming up in the position of the energy for you during this Leo lunar cycle. Okay, so this is this card is coming up to say, okay, the energy for you guys is, we're dealing with the fire energy underneath the moon. So you're dealing with fire energy and water energy mix, which is interesting because you've got a fire card in here. So, that's funny. You've actually got the 12 of fire. That's crazy. So you've got intense passion and intense emotions running together. So this Counselor card coming up in the position of the energy for you is saying, okay, whatever's going to be going on for you, Leo, throughout this lunar season, talking mid-August to mid-September, you may be operating in a way to where you're making a lot of moves based on your emotions, and basing things off of your emotions. People say don't act out of emotions, don't act on your emotions. And being the emotional person that I am, sometimes I'm like, sometimes you can. This card coming up in this particular position is saying, okay, Leo, whatever actions you are taking during this particular lunar season, they're going to be based on your feelings. So you're going to be coming from a place of, I'm making moves because I feel like this, or I'm doing this because I felt like this. So everything that's going down for you during your lunar cycle, which makes sense because you are a sign associated with the self and making sure that you are fulfilled. Self-love is a very big energy associated with Leo. So you're going to be coming from a place of I feel during this Leo lunar cycle, which makes a whole bunch of sense because you're in your new start, you're in your new beginning. So it makes sense that it is time for you, Leo, to feel what you want to feel and make moves based on what it is that you feel, and change things based on what it is that you feel, and set your life up to where, you know, you're in a place to where you feel complete, where you feel content. The Counselor card also comes up as a card kind of saying whatever's going on, especially if you're doing things based out of emotion, or you're making moves based on emotions. Sometimes when we act out of emotions, they're not always the smartest decisions. This Counselor card coming up in the position of the energy 2 is saying, Leo, you might be in a position during this particular lunar cycle where you kind of feel like, I might need some help. I might need some advice. Like, the things that are going on are becoming a little overwhelming, and I need somebody to talk to, or somebody to show me how to make moves throughout this time. Okay, now, you're going to be to a point where, and Leo, you're going to completely understand that everything you're doing is based off of your emotional investment or emotional attachments, but you're going to be in a place where you're feeling like, okay, maybe some of these things that I'm doing or some of these feelings that I'm feeling might be a little irrational, and I need a little bit of assistance, a little bit of guidance in getting these emotions underway, getting a balance, because you've got two emotion. Like, we associate emotions with the water element, but I also associate emotions and emotive actions with the fire element. So you may be seeking out some advice during this time. This is a court card, although it is not your typical court card. So this could say you may need to look to somebody who has a lot of water in their chart, or somebody who carries a very highly spiritual vibration, or somebody who embodies those water characteristics of being a sensitive person, of being an emotional person, of being somebody who just can really tap into their intuition. So and this may mean also that, Leo, you need to tap into those energies, but because it is the Counselor card, I'm going to say that you may be seeking out some advice, or seeking out some assistance or some guidance. But just keep in mind, Leo, throughout this time, be very mindful of the actions that you're taking, because a lot of your actions may be based solely on your emotions, okay? Now, the next card, my Leos, my little fiery lions that you guys have coming up in this spread is, these at the 4, you got the 4 of water. Again, you've got another water card. This is the 4 of water here. And so when this card comes up, this card typically points to, it's a card of confidence, it's a card of, being self-aware, it's a card of, accepting yourself for who you are, and not trying to change yourself to fit into societal molds or whatever. And this is also a card saying, whatever things that you feel like have been flawed with, and you flip them into positives. This is a card all about the self. And so this card coming up, in a position of a crossing energy during a reading for the Leo lunar cycle is very interesting. So Leo, this card is saying that you guys may actually be kind of sliding out of your own energy, and kind of losing sight of how to properly nurture and properly serve yourself, how to provide yourself with the correct type of self-love that you need. This card is saying, if you look at the imagery on the card, there's a guy holding up a mirror to himself, and he looks pretty content. So this card is saying, when this card is pulled, you're happy with yourself, you're happy with the things that you're doing, you're happy with the moves that you're making, and you are just completely content with who you are and the way that you're moving throughout this life. This is in the position of the crossing energy, and this is crossing the energy of the Counselor. So this card coming up, Leo, is saying you may have a little bit of a hard time making moves, or you may have a little bit of a hard time deciding how to maneuver throughout this particular lunar cycle, because you may be having a little bit of a conflict in regards to your self-care. And that could be in the physical, that could be in a spiritual sense, that could be in a mental sense. This is just saying, Leo, there could be some things going on for you that are kind of throwing you out of whack. And with this being your new year, this is definitely a time to where, if you haven't done the release of what you needed to do before your own new year, you may be dealing with a little bit of turbulent energy. You've got, although these are both water cards, you've got 2 water cards crossing each other. So think of crashing waves, if that makes sense. So you may be dealing with a little bit of turbulent energy in regards to, you may be feeling a little off. You may be seeking out advice, trying to figure things out, trying to, understand why you're acting so much in your emotions. But then in the same sense, while you're trying to figure all that out, you're also dealing with, am I good enough? Am I doing these things right? A little bit of self-doubt, if that makes sense. So what I want to say to you, Leo, you guys are the sign of the self, and you're actually the sign of showcasing the self and really being who you want to be and being okay with it and putting yourself out there, Leo. So keep in mind, you don't want your energy, and although this is a water card, you don't want that energy of self-confidence to cross you in a negative way. Instead of allowing yourself to, by tapping into this energy of, what's really going on, acting on these emotions, instead of allowing yourself to get to the point of being uncertain with yourself, with this 4 of water card crossing you, actually take that energy and say, okay, everything that's going on here, whether I'm doing the right thing or not, it can be used as a learning experience. So hold the mirror up to yourself, but when you hold the mirror up to yourself, don't look at yourself in a negative light. I talk a lot about positive thoughts and positive intentions and positively manifesting things. That also goes for your sense of self, Leo. And you guys have a strong sense of self, and you don't want that strong sense of self to be, dimmed by the fact that you're trying to figure out your emotions during this time, or trying to figure out what's best for you during this time, because you're coming into a new. All right. Now, the next card that I have for you guys coming up in the position of what's cramping your style, Leo, and you got the Justice card. And so that's interesting that you have these energies to where you're kind of seeking out advice, to where you're kind of almost not feeling yourself or not understanding, why you are the way that you are doing, or are you doing, questioning yourself, so to speak. You've got the Justice card. And so for those of you guys that watch my videos and that keep up with my tarot readings, I consider the Justice card a karmic card, and it is a card associated with karma. Divine timing. Everything that's happening is happening for a reason. This is coming up in the position of what's cramping your style. So what that's telling me, Leo, is there might be moves that you're trying to make. There may be things that, you're like, I want to do this. I want to make these changes in my life. I want to see these things shift. And for some reason, you're not seeing the changes. You're not seeing the shifts. And you're like, well, what the hell is happening? Like, I'm putting in all the work. And trust me, I know you are putting in the work, Leo, because y'all are known for that. Like, I'm putting in the work, things are not changing the way that I want them to change. Now I'm stuck in a position to where I'm feeling uncertain, feeling like, am I doing what I'm supposed to be doing? Do I need to change something? And with things not working out the way that you want them to, coming into these emotions, coming to the point to where you're like, I might need some help. And dealing with that Justice card, that is also saying, like, if things aren't working out, for sure there may be somebody that you want to reach out to that is more in tune with their intuition, because they can definitely give you some insight on this. But the Justice card coming up in that position of what is cramping your style, Leo, is telling me your style being cramped is not something that can be avoided. Unfortunately, your style is being cramped for a reason, because it may not necessarily be time. Again, talking about divine timing, may not necessarily be time for you, Leo, to move into those shifts or move into those changes that we were talking about now. It could be coming for you very soon. Remember, we were seeing the Tower, and we were seeing the 8 of Cups being pulled in your reading, right? Or being pulled while I was not being pulled, coming up while I was shuffling for you. It could be around the corner, but just keep in mind that when the time for it is supposed to happen, it will happen. So just whatever hasn't been working out for you, Leo, don't put too much energy into trying to figure out why it hasn't been working, and just put the energy into continuously doing the work that you need to do, seeking out the advice that you need to seek out, doing the self-reflection that you need to do in a positive light, so that when the timing comes, when the blockages are released, you will actually have that energy and have that knowledge and have that insight to go on and build upon the things and make the moves that you need to make, okay, Leo? Now, coming up in the next position for you guys is in the position of where do you need to showcase? Where do you need to show off? Like, Leo, you guys are the actors and the actresses. What do you need to show the world? And you've got the 4 of Pentacles. Now, this is a Pentacles card, so we're talking about the earth element. So we're talking about foundations, finances, sometimes family, because that is a foundation. Talking about, career and stuff. The 4 of Pentacles is a card that points to being in control and having a grip on things and having a plan and knowing the way that you want things to work out and actually following that plan and setting things up so that they do work out the way that you plan them to. This is in the position of what do you need to show off, Leo? And what that card coming up there is saying, for the message that I get for that is, Leo, you guys are known for putting in due diligence. You guys are known for putting in hard work. You guys are known for the shit that you do. Y'all are one of the signs that, because you put in so much work, whenever you put your mind to something, whenever you plan something, or you have a project, or you have something that needs to be done, you, get it done, and when it comes out, it's almost like it's immaculate. It's like this, My brother is not a Leo, but funny story. I was trying to do something and I couldn't do it, so I asked him to do it. This boy gonna turn to me and go, he gets it done, he gonna turn to me and go, I think I have a godlike touch. So basically, telling y'all that story because this Four of Pentacles is coming up in this position to say, Leo, you guys have the godlike touch. It's almost like whatever you touch, the Midas touch. Whatever you touch turns to gold, baby. So, you know, and Leo, you guys are not a subtle sign. That card is saying, okay, you may not be showing off where you need to show off. You know, you guys are known for getting shit done. You guys are known for building things up, and you're a fire sign that works with a lot of earth, that kind of resonates with a lot of earth energy. So you guys are known for putting shit together and building shit up and making it come out in a way that is very successful. This card coming up is saying, Leo, take your credit where credit is due. A lot of you guys are not subtle, but some of y'all might not be, you know, receiving the credit that you should be receiving for all of the work that you put in. One, show off. I say, me personally, I know people are like, oh, be humble, but I feel like when you put work in and you do something that you're proud of, or when you know you the shit, or you know you're the bomb, it is okay to toot your own horn sometimes. It is completely okay. There are people out there, from you tooting your own horn, so to speak, you could be teaching somebody a way in which they can become self-sufficient on their own, or a way in which they can achieve the dreams or the goals that they've set out for themselves by seeing the way that you've accomplished them, Leo. So just keep that in mind. Modesty is not a Leo thing. Ain't no need to tap into it now, to be complete. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is just saying, Leo, no, y'all show off because you know, they say, and you say, what's it, back, what am I trying to say? Walk it. I want to sing the song, walk it like I talk it. Walk it like I talk it. Y'all walk it like you talk it. So Leo, you can back your shit up, and this is saying, like, you don't need to be modest about it. Continue to tap into that Leo energy and show us how to get it done. We need to know. All right, Leo, the last card that I have coming up for you guys is in the position of your soul message. And, excuse me, you've got the Hero card. So this is another court card in this deck, and it's a fire card. So it's a 12 of fire. And this is a card. Oh, this one is interesting. Ooh, Leo, this is a card kind of warning you to stay out of the shadow side of your sign. So the Hero, this card coming up, this card points to a person of nobility, points to a person of very high moral values. This coming up in your soul message position is saying, okay, Leo, you've got some things going on around you during this time, you know, a little bit of blockages because it's not quite time yet, and you're dealing with doing a lot of emotional work, looking at yourself in a very bright light, if that makes sense. So the Hero card coming up in this position of the soul message is saying, Leo, okay, while you're doing all this work, while you're learning all of these things, while you tap into this energy, that counselor energy, although, you know, I was saying to tap into that Four of Pentacles and show off the work that you've done, this Hero card is coming up as a little bit of a reminder saying, okay, Leo, yes, toot your own horn, understand that things are shifting for you, but while doing so, as things start to shift, don't get too ahead of yourself. You know, sometimes it's almost like jinxing yourself. Sometimes things start to go well for people. It's kind of like, you know, the celebrities that you hear about who are really popping, and then later on down the road, what did J. Cole say? In 5 years, you're going to be on Love and Hip Hop. Later on down the road, you're like, oh, they went broke. Like, oh, what happened to them? This is saying, Leo, to just be mindful. You guys do come out the gate with a very intense energy. And when you are tapped into that energy to show off your work, like, it can be very intense sometimes. So this is saying, Leo, be mindful. Stay genuine. Don't, you know, as things start to shift for you, don't get too big of yourself. Don't get too much of a big head. This is also, Leo, you guys are a sign associated with the self. This is also a card that's saying, you know, Leo, while you're doing this reflection, even though this is crossing you and you're coming to a point where you're like, am I good enough? Am I doing what I need to be doing? Remember, we want to get you guys to that point where you're working with this energy in this card upright. While all of this stuff is going on, while you're waiting for these blockages to be moved, you know, while you've got while you're showing off this Four of Pentacles, and the Four of Pentacles is also a card that kind of points to the same message. It's just saying, you know, Leo, be mindful, be honest, don't think of yourself as higher than others, if that makes sense. And remember to give back, Leo. You guys have that energy to where you can always get the things done that you need to get done. This is just saying, remember to remain a noble person, because while all of this stuff is happening right here, this will be happening in the background for you, or you'll need to be tapping into this. But while all this stuff is happening, it could put you into a position to where, you know, some things are shifting and you might feel, so to speak, a little selfish, like you don't really want to deal with other people, like you want to focus on what you've got going on because it's time for those things to start happening for you. But just remain noble in a sense. Tap into a little bit of that hero energy. Be, you know, we talk about the golden rule all the time. Be the type of person that you want other people to be to you. So, you know, be a mentor if you want a mentor, and it looks like you want a mentor, you need to be one. Be a noble person if you want people to be noble with you. Be a nice person if you want people to be nice to you. You know what I'm saying, Leo? Just tap into that hero energy. Keep all of that in mind while you're going through these shifts throughout your lunar cycle, okay? All right, Leo. I hope these cards resonated with you. You got the Ace of Wands. This is your new year. Hope these cards resonated with you. If you feel like you want some more insight, or you feel like you need a little bit more insight, like I said, you can book a personal reading with me through my Etsy channel. I've got some sales going on. Actually, I don't even know if I talked about this. I've got eclipse sales, $10 eclipse readings, half price, and I've got retrograde sales going on. They're half price also. They're usually $40, $20 right now, current retrogrades. But if you feel like you want a personal reading, I've got a whole bunch of readings that I offer. You can definitely just hit up my Etsy, go on Etsy and book a reading, or you can hit me up via email if you don't see anything on there that serves you. If you know any Leos that might want to watch this, or you feel like may need to watch this, or you know anybody cross-watching for their Leo bays, go on and send them this video. You guys share my videos a lot anyway. I really do appreciate that. That's how I get a lot of growth on my channel. If you have any questions or comments, go on and drop them down below. I check my channel pretty frequently, so I'll respond to you within a couple of days. I say like the video, go on and hit that little thumbs up button for me down below, please. If you are still listening to me talk, go on and hit the subscribe button so you can keep up with when I want to read your life for you again, okay? And I think, listen, I'm just talking. I think, what did I said? Like, comment, subscribe, share. Check out all them videos that I talked about earlier on in the video, the retrograde series, the eclipse series, and retrograde eclipse series. Oh, and the new moon and Leo video, the main video with these tarot forecasts go along with. Go on and check that video out too. All right, y'all. Thank you so much for watching. I will see y'all next time.